Welcome back to another episode of Hashtag Her Chosen Story. I am your host, Clivia Allen, and today we have a special guest. We will be talking about planning with purpose. I will welcome Jennifer Rickard in a few, but before then, let me read her bio. Born an Army brat and married to her high school sweetheart, together they have raised one brave Marine and one master's graduate. That's such a big accomplishment. Now they teach people how money really works. Married for 30 plus years, Jennifer is a mortgage licensed for a decade and has learned how money really works at the age of 50. It's never too late to start. Some key achievements: she's focused on helping small business owners, especially millennials with families, get more intentional about their money and their future. Without any further ado, please help me welcome Mrs. Jennifer Rickard to the stage. Hi, Jen.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me here.
No problem. I'm so glad you said yes, and we're finally doing this. It's been a long time coming. And again, without any further ado, I want the people to know who you are. So just introduce yourself and then we'll jump right into our questions.
All right. Well, like Clivia said, I have been around money for quite a while. I used to be in the corporate world, and I actually did financial aid then. So I had millions and millions of financial student aid coming in. And so even then I was handling lots of different money and showing people how to kind of like budget themselves. And then I started doing mortgages. And so credit and all of those different things are a big part of that. And Kevin and myself, we had somebody show us really how debt and all of those things work and are tied into your retirement. And when we saw that at 50, there were so many concepts that we had no idea about, even though we have been around money. And we were like, why doesn't everybody know about this?
Yeah.
And so that kind of
awesome.
Steered me in this direction.
I love that. And some of the questions, I know we had like a ton of questions, but I did narrow it down. And even though I may not touch all of them, please feel free to touch on some of those so that the audience can know, learn, and grow. And to understand money can be a safe space. It doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be, a place of anxiousness or panic, but I'm pretty sure you'll be able to help us understand what that looks like. So the first question I have is, what made you care so much about financial education?
I think the first time I really, really thought about it, well, when you're growing up and your parents are there, you might have different experiences with it. But I grew up in a household, we didn't really talk about it. It wasn't like something that my parents actually showed me how. And in school, they never really showed us. I remember one experience. I was a teenager and I got my first job through a work program with school. And the boss of the place I was working at, it was a radio station of all places. He asked me to write a check. I had no idea how to do that. That was the first time I started thinking, these are probably things I should know about. But then I moved out on my own right after high school. And I was like, my mom never showed me how to balance a checkbook or how to do different things. And I never had to think about it. Those were the first times I started thinking about those types of things. And then living on chicken and rice when you first get out on your own. And I was like, wow, I really should have learned about these things before I got into those situations.
Right.
And so, we decided that we would start learning about entrepreneurship at a younger age and all of these things. So we thought we had a handle on how money works. But then when I had these open conversations with my children as they grow up, how to save your money and all of these things. So I've always had like a passion for making sure people are educated about how money works. And for me to be in my 50s and for somebody to show me what the rule of 72 is, and I meet people every day and help them with their mortgages, and me not understand that concept, I was like, wow, this really has to be a part of what I show people. They need to be educated. They don't
Yeah.
just need to be talked to. They need to be
Mhm.
educated so they can make informed decisions. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
It does. It does. And I remember when we first met and we met at that business mixer in June of 2025. And that really stood out to me when you said in regards to really educating and helping those with, okay, if I want to buy a home, I need to have a certain type of credit score. But then if my credit score is not there, you actually sit down with individuals and help them understand how, because sometimes we're just left to figure it out. We're left to figure it out. So I love that you actually take the time to explain what that process is like and to really help these dreams come true in regards to home ownership and just understanding what money's like. So I think that's really, really important. The other question, when did you realize families were being misinformed?
So I would say that was pretty late in life too, because you think that you know and you understand. And then when I started learning about insurance, and we were not told everything, because you trust people who have the knowledge. You trust that they are telling you all of the information. So you don't always read the fine print. So we bought a policy from somebody and we thought we were getting one thing, and then it turned out to be something else when we learned about it. And so it kind of put a bad taste in our mouth when we learned, why don't more people understand these things? So that's part of the whole financial education aspect of what we do. We feel like as long as people are educated and know what they have, then that puts the power in their hands and lets them have more say in what they're doing. And it gives you a better peace of mind when you know this is actually covering my family, or this is actually going to help me pay my mortgage off in 10 years sooner because I made these wise decisions.
Yeah. And I know you're also an author, and one of the things in regards to, because I know even reading your bio, helping the younger generation, those that are starting families, and I know for your children, they're starting families and have these things that many don't have, right? So what does it look like in regards to books? Do you have books for children? Do you have books for young adults? What does that look like in regards to that open education?
Okay. Yeah. So what our goal is, that we would like to always be a resource in our community locally. So we have workshops rotating, where a big part of what we do is home ownership. So any homeowners can come to our workshops. And right now we have in the works the home ownership. If you own a home, you should know if your insurance is going to protect your home and exactly what you have. So that's one of the focuses of one of the workshops. The other workshop is parents and kids and financial education. So what does your school teach your children, or what does your school not teach your children about financial skills, So what we do is we'll come together and we actually will practically put these in play so that the children understand what concepts, and the parents can also understand them, and they learn together those concepts about saving money, about earning money, about all of those different things. So those are different things that in the community we are doing. And we do have books. They're not actually any that I've written, but they are ones that we use on a regular basis, called How Money Works for kids and How Money Works for adults. And these concepts are broken down very plainly and easily to read. And if you understand those concepts, you know 99% more than what most Americans know by the time they are out of college, unless they go to school specifically for finance.
Yeah, that's really good. And we did share the link here on the bottom of the screen where they can access a free book, The real, did I miss a word? The real how money works. I feel like I
Yep.
missed a word.
Yep,
Yes.
that's
I
it.
did.
Actually, I believe that is it. I'll double check it.
Okay.
Let me
Okay.
see.
And if not, we'll have the correct link on the description of this episode. And with all of that said, what kind of frustrates you the most about money, the way money is taught? You know, from, again, you raising children,
hmm
you being in, whether it's networking events or meeting people in your daily walk, what frustrates you the most?
Well, the first thing is that we don't teach it in elementary school. We don't start teaching those concepts in elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a regular thing we teach. The other thing I think it pairs with that is that because we don't teach it so early, it's almost like a taboo topic. Um, and I know that millennials are really a focus for me, but women also. Women don't feel comfortable talking about money with other women in
Right.
general. You might have
What do you think that is?
entrepreneurs. So, we should not just want to talk about, oh, how much did you save on that shirt, or how much
Mm-hmm.
did that bag cost, or, where can you get the best deal? It should be like, do you have your IRA Roth
Like,
set up?
yes.
Or
Yeah.
how much do you charge for your services? You're undercharging yourself. We need to be talking about all of those things too, and not
Yeah.
feel tacky or weird about talking about those things, because that's where we feel we should start feeling comfortable. We're worthy and we're worth talking about all of those money conversations. And I
Yeah.
think when those conversations are a regular talk at the younger years, then it'll
Mm-hmm.
be easier for overall everybody to talk about those, especially
Yeah,
us.
exactly. And I appreciate you for being so open with me to have those conversations, right? And when it came to services, and I was on a podcast, I co-host on another podcast, and one of the things we talked about, one is being okay with receiving help, and the other one was understanding, like reallocating your assets. We have
Yeah.
these skills, these experiences, but we're worried about charging too much, or like you
Yeah.
mentioned the word worth. Do we know our worth, right? So
Yeah.
I love that even with our Chosen 31 magazine, you were like, look, we got to do this and this and this, because this is what, and for me, not that I was uncomfortable, but I'm like, this lady know what she's talking about. So I got to have her in my circle, because you made me feel so comfortable with realizing, you know what, this is how it should be. And it should be
Yeah.
okay to name a price, and because people got it, right? But
Yeah.
there's some that might be hesitant, like, but what if they don't want to buy it? What if it's not, what they're looking for? The right people would definitely come to the table when it comes to, once you feel comfortable with
Yeah.
what you have, then others would be drawn to it too.
Yep. You're so right. You're so right. And I know I know this is a little bit off topic, but that is something that I think females in general deal with, because it's not until you get older and wiser that it starts to feel a little more comfortable. Because I have this conversation with my daughter all the time. She's super, super smart. She's she's got her master's. She's so funny. She's like such a brilliant person. And she will have conversations with me, like when she was trying to get a job or different things like that, like I don't think I can do that, or and I'm like, she's so overqualified for most things, but then when she starts doing it, she's like, oh, I got it, I can do that.
Of course.
And so we do that so many times. So I want to make sure that the education for money, our young people have that. So that's one less thing that they have to feel like they're not worthy of. Yeah. So, we have conversations with my grandson, and he's only 2.5. But, we play barista, and he makes me stuff, and I buy it from him because I want to make sure he starts understanding the concept now.
That's so good. That is so good. And I'm speaking at a conference, and one of the things that we are highlighting are those generational conversations that we didn't have with our parents. Like you mentioned in the beginning, your mom didn't, have those certain conversations, but now you're making sure your children and their children and their children's children and their friends and their neighbors and all these people will understand from a young age what, to feel comfortable talking about money, because we know that currency, it's important. And then when I had the interview with Kevin, we talked about the importance of credit. So just understanding how all of that plays an important part. I really believe this is good. This is what we need, especially in our economy today, in our world today, in our communities today. I think it's really, really important. For you, I know you mentioned, and I know for some, we saw Primerica on your email. What's something about life insurance people won't like to hear or don't understand when it comes to life insurance, or just the whole thing about what that looks like?
Well, a lot of people think, I don't need it, or it costs too much, or, things like that. But I would think that they don't like to hear me say, do you really know what you have? Because so many people, they have life insurance, but they really don't know what they have. And then when they read the fine print, they realize they don't have coverage at all. And the other thing is that they don't like to talk about death. Nobody likes to talk about death. And so I don't call it life insurance. I call it income protection, because really it's replacing your income. We protect our phones, we protect our cars, we protect all of these things, but the most valuable asset you have is you to your family. And if something happens to your income and your family is going to miss you already, and that impact you have on their life, and that financial part is ripped away, if that's going to significantly impact the way they live, possibly the roof over their house, over their head, you need to protect you. You're the most important thing. And so I read something the other day that really spoke to me about life insurance, and how, a lot of times when you get life insurance, you are thinking about, I lost my train of thought. I totally lost my train of thought.
That's okay. That's okay. It'll come back to you.
Yeah, it was a really good one too, because I know a lot of people get put off when you talk about life insurance. Because they just think people are salesy, and I can understand that. But I hear so many horror stories, and sometimes I get really emotional about it. I get really passionate about it, because I think everybody should own it, because it's very irresponsible to me if you don't have something in place if something happens. If you don't already have, money set aside, if something happens to you, you should have life insurance. It's like borrowing your wealth until you can build your wealth. And I teach you how to do both. So
it's so good. And I know a lot of people, even when I was younger, and it's really people, they just don't know. They just don't know. And they hear it and they say, oh, I don't have, even for myself at one point, I'm like, I can't afford this. But even when we sat down, and when I saw what I can have and what I could afford, and that was one of the questions, let me know what your budget is and let's see how we can make it work. So even whether it's in life or in death, things would fall into place. And I'm like, okay, this is less than, I don't know, I don't buy out, but when people that do eat out and they add up the amount they spend, it's less than that, So I think it's really important. And I did drop your link. So as you guys listen to this information, please connect with Jennifer on the Calendly link, or you can even email her to get more information, because it's really, really important. And you'll understand it, where there's just certain things that we all should have as people. And this is one of them. So I really thank you for sharing the
Yeah.
truth, about it.
Thanks.
What's one money conversation, and you may have touched on this, but what's one money conversation women need to stop avoiding?
Women need to stop avoiding.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need to have every single money conversation.
Mm-hmm.
They need to stop undervaluing themselves. We did talk a lot about that.
Yeah.
And stop. I think we touched on everything that
pertains to, because
pertains
when I
to
mentioned in regards
that.
to
Yeah.
knowing your worth, putting a price on what it is, and
Oh, I
don't shy
know.
away from it.
The one thing that ladies, actually, a lot of women, they forget is that, so when it comes to investing for your future, a lot of times women, and specifically, they don't take into consideration that there's a pay gap. If they have a traditional job, there's a pay gap, right? We know that we get paid less than men. It's just a fact right now. But also, you are probably going to be the person who stops working to take care of your children for a while. Okay.
Yes.
So you have less time to build your retirement than men do. So you need to start sooner than men do on average if you want to have the same amount of retirement available to you in your later years.
Yeah.
So it's things like that you should be considering if you're a woman.
Okay. And I know you mentioned workshops. What does a workshop look like when people do attend, and how can where would we find those? Whether it's links, do we follow you on Facebook? How can, even I'm putting these links up, how can we stay connected? So, I'm saying we because I'm part of what you guys are doing, but to know, to stay in the know, how can we stay connected with that?
So Facebook's going to be the best place because that's where I put all of my educational material too. So Facebook, and what it looks like is really people, it's not a huge environment, but it's very interactive. Almost every workshop is going to be very interactive. So I love it when people come and have questions. And whenever we do the home and insurance, I always ask people to bring their insurance policies with them because it's not, I never am selling anything at the workshops. It's always about education. So if you bring your actual policies or you bring your investment documents, you bring anything, we can go over those. And then on my Calendly link, I don't know if that's going to be available, but if you want a 5-minute, 15-minute checkup with me, it's completely complimentary, and we can go over a strategy session with you and give you that financial footprint and see what it looks like and help you with a strategy session because education is my main gig. That's what I love.
I love that. And even the topic, planning with purpose, and when you know what your purpose is, you're passionate about it and you want to just tell the world like, this is how you do it. Please just listen. This is how you do it. Now, what is next for Jennifer? And I know, again, you and your husband, you guys work very close together. And even in this conversation, there was a lot of we. But now I want you to tell us what's next for you. Like, is there a workshop where you're focused on maybe, and again, I know you mentioned children and their parents. Is there another book? Is there vacation? Like, what's next for Jennifer?
All right. Well, Olivia, you kind of like already know, but I have a few things that I'm doing. The workshops are mostly going to be ran by me anyway. And that's the home and insurance, how that works, and then the parents and kids workshop. But I have actually 2 books that I'm finishing, but those have nothing to do with financial services. And then
before you continue talking about what's coming, let them know you are an author of some really juicy books.
If you like spice in your life and you like mystery genres, a romance, mystery, that type of thing, I have 2 books out there. Lots of lots of space. And on Amazon, you can just Google my name. I never did a pen name. We are building our agency, so I am looking for anybody that is passionate about financial services and wants to get professionally licensed. I would love to talk to you. You can work remotely from home anywhere in the US, and I would love to help you get licensed in mortgages and life insurance and all of that good stuff.
Just thank you so much for being here with us and just blessing us with your presence, your knowledge, and all these things that we can, I like to go, even though I do these interviews, I do go back and listen, because sometimes I want to take my own notes. So even as our guests listen, I really hope you take your own notes and, you connect with these individuals, because they know what they're talking about. I don't have just any and anybody on our show. It's really people that I intentionally connect with, that I want to grow with, and, we can support each other. So Jen, is there any last words you want to leave with our guests, our viewers?
Yeah, I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come on here, and there is so much that I could talk about. I love teaching people about these concepts. So if you ever have any questions about any of these things, you can reach out to me. I would love to share my information that I've learned over the years. And I just am very happy that you gave me the opportunity to share this information.
Of course. And I appreciate you so much. And we're going to read this quote before we close out. When your finances are intentional, everything else gets clearer. And that's a quote by Jennifer Rickard. I thank you so much, again, just for being here with us, giving us so much knowledge on planning with purpose. And again, please connect with Jen, whether it's on Facebook. Here's where you can find her on Facebook through her name. You can also book a call through Calendly, and also you can email Jennifer at jennifer.rickard@primerica.com. And if you want to make some extra income, please connect with Jennifer. She can tell you a little more on how that works. So again, Jennifer, thank you so much. And we have a lot of work to do this year, and I'm excited for what's to come.
Yep, me too. Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. Again, that was our another queen that graced us with her presence, Jennifer Rickard. And she's doing so much in the community. She's networking and she's growing. And I'm excited for what's to come. And get those books, search those books, read the back or the inside, and order your book and support. All right. And again, we're just so happy that we're able to talk about different topics, people sharing their stories, how they started, what they started. And Jennifer mentioned being 50 when certain things were discovered. It's never too late to start. It's never too late to learn. It's never too late to dream again. And it's just weird, not weird, but funny that her and her husband kind of ended on the same note. Like, it's okay to, do what you dream of. And when you're passionate about something, it's okay to start. Just do it. Nike didn't say try it. Nike said just do it. And this episode is not sponsored by Nike, but I said Nike's name. It's fine. All right. So until next time, I am your host, Clivia Allen. If you would like to be a guest on our show, please connect on ways you can contribute. We want to upgrade our platform, and I can't do that without you. So we are looking for sponsors and contributors. And I do have an announcement. I'll make a video in a few days on what that announcement is. I'm excited about that. But until next time, please remember you are chosen for such a time as this. So continue to be brave, be bold, and be beautiful. All right. Thank you and have a great day.